I was constantly teased, carried around, thrown about, and had bags thrown at me from all sides. Children can be cruel.
There were kids who mercilessly bullied me. I couldn't take it anymore and hit one of them in the shoulder.
What is your defect?
I have an intrauterine trauma. According to my mother, she was at the market during her 5th month of pregnancy when a cargo trolley hit her in the stomach. According to a maxillofacial surgeon, the impact caused a shift in the still-forming bones, and also the soft tissues grew because there was a bruise at the site of the blow, and all that blood scarred over.
My defect is that some people are born with a cleft upper lip and palate.
Have you talked to your parents about how you look?
When I was little, I constantly asked my mother why I was like this, why everyone else had normal lips, but I didn't. She always told me that I fell and hit a swing, then a log, until maybe when I was 15. I genuinely thought it wasn't a birth defect, but something that happened due to an external injury.
My mother always tried to convince me that it wasn't a flaw. She said it was a gift, a sign from above. You were born on December 25th. It all means something.
How did your peers react to you?
My classmates didn't bully me, but mostly kids from other grades, older children. For example, when I was in 4th grade, kids from 7th, 8th, 9th grades would always tease me. I was also short, constantly carried around, thrown about, had bags thrown at me from all sides. Children can be very cruel.
There were no people in my class who called me names. I was lucky. But there were some in the neighboring classes. There were 2 or 3 of them, I don't remember. But the most interesting thing is that I finished school with them. Of course, nobody remembered those stories then. But yes, in primary school I felt unpleasant, but I'm glad that there were only a few of them.
Did you try to hide your defect?
I styled my hair to the right side to cover almost all of my face. At about 13, I visited a friend, and their family friend, a professional hairdresser, was there. She wanted to style my hair and suggested me to wear a right part to cover the more protruding side of my face. I really liked it, and I've worn it that way ever since.
No, you can't hide it with mustaches or bandanas. I don't like bandanas. I go as I always have.
How did you perceive yourself in childhood?
I always felt different from other children, not just in appearance, but also in conversations.
It was in the last year of kindergarten. That's when I started to realize something was wrong with my appearance, in a bad way. Before that, appearance didn't matter much, but then I started to feel that it was wrong. I wasn't symmetrical like others, which was strange. I remember being nervous about starting school. I was afraid of being teased and not fitting in. I was lucky it didn't happen.
What did you refrain from doing because of your peculiarity?
From around 14 to 18, I hated being photographed so much that I don't even have a photo with my mom from my graduation.
If someone photographed or filmed me, I always tried to lower my head so my face wasn't visible. But generally, I didn't worry about it too much.
What challenges do you face?
Yes, many times, after leaving university, I wanted to become a bartender. I wasn't hired because I had to work with customers, and they might not have accepted me, or a drunk person might react badly to my appearance. I realized that's the burden of the profession. You need to have a handsome face, be a presentable man or woman.
I happened to work as a salesperson and promoter. At interviews, no one questioned me. They saw my desire to work. Needing money, why wouldn't I have the desire? They hired me easily. Even people I interacted with during work didn't react strangely.
What did you do to correct your appearance?
My mother always told me about a specialist who advised that my condition could be treated with surgery, where a piece of rib bone would be inserted into the skull, specifically into the temporal lobe, supposedly correcting everything. I once mentioned this to a surgeon, and we had quite a laugh about it.
In 2013, at 19, I underwent surgery. Before that, my condition was worse, and the scar more noticeable. The surgery improved my appearance significantly. It's not as noticeable now unless you're looking for it. Earlier, due to the cleft lip, my teeth were crooked and looked bad. I got braces at the same time. My appearance changed completely from my school days. In a way, I started university as a different person.
What incident particularly stands out to you?
In summer camp, some boys mercilessly bullied me. At one point, I couldn't take it anymore and hit one in the shoulder. I had just taken karate for a year and thought I could do anything. I wasn't sure where to hit, so I chose the shoulder. That boy didn't bother me anymore, but his friends decided it wasn't enough. I've never hit anyone else in my life and hope I won't have to.
As a teenager, around 13, when boys and girls started dating, I wanted that too. I didn't understand it, and when I liked a girl and suggested we go out, she said, "No, you're unattractive, you have a crooked lip." I said, "Okay," and understood it would always be like this unless I changed it. Every night, for a long time, I dreamt of waking up with it all gone, everything fine. There was a guy on our street, Seva, also with a cleft, but his wasn't treated. He was probably 20 to 30 then. And somehow I wasn't very pleased that when all the kids were making fun of him, I had to do it too, because I realized that I was just like him. But if I didn't do it, then, you're not with us. Now we're going to throw stones at you too. That's the kind of thing I'd probably do myself for right now. Well, I'd teach myself. I'd say, "Are you stupid or what? Why do you do that? Look at yourself in the mirror."
How has your peculiarity affected you?
In fact, my peculiarity had a big impact on the kind of person I became, because I had to accept that people couldn't like me because of my looks. So I had to work on my attitude towards people, and find something else they could like me for other than my looks.
Year by year, I became stronger, both morally and spiritually, and now I see it as life experience that toughened me. A few years later, when I met some of the guys who used to bully me, they turned out to be decent. They realized my defect didn't matter, and that I was a normal person, just slightly different. I never asked for apologies, understanding they were just children.
What advice would you give to those who are self-conscious about their appearance?
To those who are self-conscious or unsure, I advise first understanding the root of the problem. Often, it's all about how we perceive ourselves. Yes, I plan to undergo plastic surgery, but it's not for society, it's for me, because it'll make me more comfortable.
All I can say is, don't lose heart. One day you'll grow up, reach a certain age, and realize that all this has been left in the past. Everything stays in the past. People change, and one day you'll change too.